All right, Shalom, Israel, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, before I start the video, I want to give all honor and glory to the Most High God, who I know as Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world calls Jesus Christ, but I call Him Yahweh Shai in the Paleo Hebrew. Shout out to the sister Mary of Bethany that anointed our King Yahweh Shai. And also shout out to our ancestors that you read about in the scriptures that lost their lives behind keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, that wasn't willing to compromise, that wasn't willing to bow down to idols. They rather died than to transgress the laws of the Lord, man. So shout out to them. Got a lesson for the night, man. It's called Vowing. A vow to the Lord must be taken serious. It's a serious matter, man. Right? This is a very serious matter. And it's something that shouldn't be taken lightly. If you vow something to the Lord, it must be you must be serious. And whatever you vow, you must stick with it. Ain't no backing out. Ain't no, I don't want to do this no more. If you come out your mouth and you vow to the Lord, you must you must take it seriously, or the Lord gonna hold it against you, man. It's a sin, basically. It's a sin if you vow something to the Lord and you don't do it. You don't stick to it. That's a sin. So, Lord, would I could talk a little bit more tonight going into vows, because it's talked about in the scriptures a lot when you read about or you get into it and you look up vows and things like that. That was something common that a lot of our people did. They would make vows to the Most High. So before we get into the lesson, I don't want to hold y'all too long tonight. Before I get into the lesson, let's get the shofar blowing. Y'all also check out the lesson. Check out tonight's lesson. Talk about it Tuesday that me and the brothers just did. It's uploaded on my page and it's uploaded on our main page, the Hope for Elect. So the brother Denal had a mighty lesson tonight, man. So y'all go check that out. But let's get the shofar blowing. All praise to the Most High. So let's go ahead and get into this thing, man. So we want to get into this thing. I'm going to get the first precept in the book of Psalms. What I want? I get 8. Psalms chapter 61 and verse 8. And it reads, it says, so will I sing praise. He said, so will I sing praise unto thy name forever, that I may daily perform my vows. So David was a man that vowed to the Lord. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with vowing to the Lord. It also shows the Lord that you're serious about something that you want to do for him. When you do a vow, and he wants you to complete that vow. So David was a person that did vows a lot. It says that I may daily perform my vows. That's plural. So he had more than one vow. I'm not sure exactly what his vows were, but David had vows, stuff that he wanted to just show the Lord that he's serious about. So he made a vow to the Lord. He held himself accountable that I got to complete this vow. If I come to the Lord and saying I'm not going to do this no more, or I'm going to do this, or I'm not going to do this, you have to make sure that you're serious. You have to make sure that you're serious, man, because the Lord is nothing to be played with. He take these things, very serious, especially when you come into him and you telling him, I'm not going to do this no more, or I promise I'll do this. You have to complete that thing, man or woman. You have to make sure that you complete it and make sure that you're ready before you make a vow to the Lord. Don't just do it out of haste or do it because it's a you it sounds good. No, make sure you count the cost and just understand what you're doing. I'm not trying to scare nobody because, like I said, vows are good things, man. It makes you more disciplined, and it shows the Lord that you're really trying to be disciplined on what you're trying to accomplish. So there's nothing wrong with vows, but you want to make sure you're vowing in the right spirit. You want to make sure that you're able to complete what you're saying and don't just be talking out your mouth at that moment. Um, don't be just talking out your mouth for that moment. Then tomorrow or the next week, now you trying to back out of it. You see what I'm saying? Whatever you vow to the Lord, whatever you say you're gonna do that thing, man. Perfect example, right? I'm on a Nazarite vow. If anybody don't know about the Nazarite vow, go to read Numbers chapter 6. So the Nazarite vow is something that you vow to the Lord that you get on, right? A lot of people take this vow and you have to separate yourself, right? You can't get no lineups, no haircuts. You can't be around a dead body, or you can't eat grapes or anything that comes from grapes or from the vine. You can't drink wine, a strong drink. So, when you own this vow, or before you take this vow, you have to count the cost, right? You can't get on this Nazarite vow and then back out. You own the vow, right? You decided to take the vow. Now all of a sudden, you want to get the urge to drink. You had a rough day at work. Now you just need some wine. But you on a vow though, but you can't be like, well, I can't do it. No, I can't do it. And you go and drink some wine. You just sinned. You just broke the vow that you made with the Lord. You said when you got on this vow, that's you saying that you're gonna complete it however long you do it. Or understand, when you take this Nazarite vow, you can't be around no dead bodies. I mean, you can't go to no funerals, man. So it's like you have to count the cost, because even when it may be a loved one that's close to you, and they die, it's like you can't go. You can't go. So you got to count the cost. A lot of people like, nah, they might be on the vow, and then somebody die. They're like, nah, I gotta go. This is so and so. I can't miss the funeral, so I gotta go. You just sinned. You just broke the vow that you made with the Lord. So that comes with counting the cost, man. You have to count the cost before you take this vow. Are you willing to, get, talked about or stoned because you didn't go to so and so funeral and y'all was close, and or you want to drink some wine, a strong drink, because you had a long day? Are you gonna drink the strong drink? Are you gonna break the vow? Or you got a job interview and you don't want to go in looking crazy, so are you gonna get a lineup when you just got on this vow and you're not supposed to do that? You have to make sure that you're ready, man. You vowed it. You can't break it. Right? You can't tap out and be like, I can't do this. I can't. This too hard, bro. I can't do this. I'm done. Then I feel like you turned your back on God, man. It's just like you ain't a man of your word. You ain't a woman of your word. If you vowed a vow to Him and you said that you was gonna do something, and then you turn your back on God. Basically, what it is, you turn your back on God when you say you're gonna vow something and you don't complete it, or you end it. Like you turned your back on God, man. So a vow is very serious, especially when you vowing it to the Lord, man. I'm talking about when you go to the Most High and you vowing something that you're gonna do something, that you're not gonna do something no more. When you going into His presence, you're going in the prayer closet, you going wherever, you're doing it wherever, but you talking to the Lord and you saying, I'm not gonna do this no more, or I'm gonna make sure I do this. I'll make sure. You make a vow to the Lord and you be like, I'm gonna read every day. You got to read every day. You make a vow to the Lord. I ain't gonna drink no more wine my whole life. You can't drink no more wine your whole life. So it's these vows, you have to um do what you say. Let me get this scripture right here. Ecclesiastes 5. What I had, was it 4? 5 and 4. Yeah. It says, when thou vowest a vow unto God, defer not to pay it, for he hath no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed. So the most I say, hey, pay what you done vowed, man. You done vowed this, whatever you done vowed to him. You done vowed to him. You done went to him and vowed. Do what you said you're gonna do. Do what you said you're gonna do. He said he basically said if you don't, you're a fool. Because he said he don't have no pleasure in fools. He don't have no pleasure in people that's vowing vows and don't complete them. End them. Verse 5. Better is it that thou shouldest not vow than that. My bad. Say better is it that thou shouldest not vow than that thou shouldest vow and not pay. So the Most High saying you might well don't even vow. Right? If you're not gonna complete your vow, and especially if you don't got the intentions to complete it, he's saying better is you. He's saying better because you don't have to vow nothing. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to vow nothing. That's up to you. You don't gotta take the Nazarite vow. That's up to you. But he's saying he'd rather you not vow at all than to vow and don't pay up. Don't complete what you said you was gonna do. Don't finish what you said you was gonna do. So it's like don't vow at all, man. He says, I think that's all I had. Yeah, that's all I had on that. So make sure when if you go to the Lord, I'm a fast twice a week for I'm a fast twice a week for 3 months. You got to do that. You got to if you don't do it, it's a sin. And the Most High, he don't play about that. If you say I'm gonna make a lesson. I'm gonna make a lesson once a week for 2 months. You have to do that. You have to make a lesson once a week for 2 months. Because you vowed that you went to the Lord, you actually told the Lord, I'm gonna make a lesson. I'm gonna make a lesson, one lesson a week for 2 months, Lord. I vow this to you that I'm gonna do it. So you told the Lord, okay, go ahead and do it. You said you're gonna do it. So that's what the Lord expects. He don't want you to just now you backing out. Like, I know I said I was gonna vow. I know I was gonna make a video a week, but it's kind of getting late. I gotta wake up in the morning. I can't do it. You just sin. You just broke the vow that you made with the Lord, man. The Lord don't care about what you had about you being sleepy. The Lord don't care nothing about you gotta go to work in the morning. He just care about what you said that you was gonna do. Kind of like a boss. Kind of like a boss. You work for somebody, and you ain't at work. You say you was coming that day, but you ain't come because you may have had to do something, drop your daughter off first or something. Your boss ain't gonna care nothing about that, bro. Your boss ain't gonna be like, well, he just gonna go off what you said. You said you was gonna be there and you ain't come. So that's same with the Most High. Was it? Let's get Numbers 30. I'm trying to Numbers 30, verse 1. And Moses spake unto the heads of the tribes concerning the children of Israel, saying, this is the thing which the Lord hath commanded. If a man vow a vow unto the Lord, and a lot of people vow vows when they get married. They vow a vow to the Lord when they marry their spouse. And a lot of people they don't live up to that vow. They end up divorcing. They end up divorcing. The words that they say when they're at the altar or whatever, when they get married, they don't do what they said. They don't finish up. They don't do what they said. So it's like, you said you're gonna do it. You said, and then you said it unto the Lord, and you ain't do it. So just things like that too, man. You gotta make sure that um you really gonna do what you say you're gonna do when it comes to the Lord, or swear an oath. So if you do a vow or you swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. So you can't break your word. If you swear, that's why you gotta be careful what you swear. Or I swear, bro, I swear I swear I'm a I'm gonna get into my word tonight. Bro, I swear we can have Bible study tonight. I put it on everything we can do that, bro. I swear, trust me. No, you can't break that. That's why you gotta, watch out when don't swear, bro. If you ain't for real, don't swear. Don't make no vow if you don't know if you actually gonna be able to uh uphold that vow or what you say you're gonna do. He shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceeded out of his mouth. If a woman also vow unto the Lord and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in her youth. So just say you're a woman and you stay with your father, right? You're a young woman. It says, and her father hear her vow, and she bond wherewith she hath vowed her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her. Then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she hath vowed her soul shall stand. So just say how she stay with her father, right? And the young lady, right? She's saying a vow, and her dad hear it, but if it's cool with if it ain't nothing crazy, and he knows something that she can uphold, if he don't say nothing, then the vow stands. But if her father disallow her in the day that he heareth, not any of her vows or of her bonds wherewith she had bound her soul, um, shall stand, and the Lord shall forgive her because her father disallowed her. So the father got the authority to be like, nah, don't say that. Nah. We ain't gonna do that. You ain't gonna do that. So even though she said it, it just how important it is, because she young, right? She's a youth. So sometimes she may not know what she's saying. She might not know what she's saying, but she bound to the Lord. So the Lord understands that. So the Lord gives the father, he let the father determine, do the vow stand or not. He got the power to step in and be like, nah. Well, we ain't gonna do that. You ain't doing that. You ain't, because you ain't gonna uphold that. You don't even know what you're asking. It says, and if she had at all an husband, so if this one, now you have a woman that's married, she had a husband. When she vowed or uttered out of her lips, wherewith she bound her soul. So she's uttering out her lips. She's saying a vow. She's saying she gonna do something, and her husband heard it. So he heard her say something. Lord, I promise, I swear, I'm a but what's something to say, Lord? I swear I'm a sew 3 dresses this weekend. Lord, I swear I'm gonna do it. I love you so much. I swear I'm gonna do it. Now her husband can be like, nah, I don't know if she gonna be able to do that. She's saying she doing it, but she might get sleepy, or she might not. She might not do it. She said she gonna do it throughout the week, 3 dresses throughout the week, and she went to the Lord and swear to the Lord that she gonna do it. But her husband thinking like, what if she don't? She's saying she gonna do it, but she might be tired. Something may come up. She may not have time. So I'm gonna look out for it and be like, nah. He said, and her husband heard it and held his peace at her. But her husband hear it, what she may have vowed something, and he hold his peace in that day that he heard it. Then her vow shall stand, and her bonds wherewith she bound her vow, her soul shall stand. Because you really binding your soul when you do a vow. So, she said she do something, her husband hear it, or she say something and her husband hear it, and he like, okay, that's cool. I know she can do that. She can do that. I believe she gonna do it. She sounds serious. I know she got it. But if her husband disallowed her on the day that he heard it, then he shall make a vow. Then he shall make her vow what she vowed, and that which she uttered with her lips. Let me read it again. But if her husband disallowed her on the day that he heard it, then he shall make her vow which she vowed, and that which she uttered with her lips, but with her bound, whether she bound her soul of none effect, and the Lord shall forgive her. So it's like basically it's none effect. If her husband come in, step in and be like, nah, you know what I'm saying? No, then the vow is in none effect, and the Lord will forgive her. It says, but every vow of a it says, but every vow of a widow and of her that is divorced wherewith they have bound their soul shall stand against her. And if she vow in her husband's house, or bound her soul by bond with an oath, and her husband heard it and held his peace. Did I read this already? Or it's saying the same. It's saying the same thing. Every bond with she bound her soul shall stand. Uh, I want to get this. It says, but if her husband altogether hold his peace at her from day to day, then he established all her vows or all her bonds which are upon her. He confirmeth them, because he held his peace at her in the day that he heard them. So he heard all the vows she said. If he don't say nothing, it's confirmed. If he don't step in, it's confirmed. But if he shall anyways make them void after that he hath heard them, then he shall bear her iniquity, right? So if he make them void and she don't complete them, he gonna bear her iniquities. He gonna have to be, he gonna have to be held accountable for that. Because he heard it and he didn't step in, right? So all praise to the Most High. Um, we get this scripture right here. Let's get Deuteronomy. Yeah, man. So make sure when you vow something to the Lord, make sure you're ready. Make sure you're ready. Make sure that you be able to complete what you vowed to Him, because He gonna hold you to your word. Just like how we hold people to their word when they say they're gonna do something, the Most High gonna hold you to your word, and He expect you to complete whatever you say you was gonna do. This is Deuteronomy 23 and 21 through 23. When thou shalt vow unto the Lord thy God, thou shalt not slack to pay it. For the Lord thy God will surely require it of thee, and it will be sin in thee. Right? Gonna be a sin if you don't complete it. But if thou shalt forbear it to vow, it shall be no sin in thee. So it's like, but if you don't vow at all, it ain't gonna be no sin. Sin. He said, that which is gone out of thy lips, thou shalt keep and perform. So the Bible said, whatever you come to the Lord with and you say it, or your actions that you say you're gonna do, thou shalt do that. You got to perform that. You got to do it. He expect you to do whatever you say you're gonna do. Even a free will offering according as thou hast vowed unto the Lord thy God with thy promise with thy mouth. So the vow is like it's a promise. It's a promise that you're gonna do something. Even when you get into the if you take the Nazarite vow, it's a promise that you're gonna complete the vow, however long you take it. You have to complete it. It was another scripture I had just thought about. But if you do vow a vow, did I pull that one already? Let me see if I pulled it already. All right, did I pull that? I think I did. I think I did. I think that's the. I don't know if that's the one I wanted. Real quick. Let me lose. I didn't. I didn't. Maybe I already. Maybe what I'm looking for. I read. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, my bad. So even when it comes to like, if you say you're gonna do something, right? I'm gonna read 5 scriptures um every day for 2 months. You don't do it, and you break that vow. You have to complete that vow. You have to hop back on that vow, man, because you vowed it to the Lord. He's even though you broke it, he still expect you to do what you said. He still expect you to do what you said you're gonna do. So you may be like, I can't do this, and you stop. You break the vow. You gotta gotta hop back on that thing, man. You gotta hop back on that thing and do what you said you're gonna do because you still said it, and he's still holding that vow against you because it's a sin if you don't do what you said you're gonna do. So you have to complete what you said you're gonna do, so it won't be a sin. Let me get this scripture right here. Let's go to First Samuel. Let's go to First Samuel. Let's talk about Samuel real quick. We're going to First Samuel, talking about Samuel. First Samuel 1:11. This is was it Hannah? Yeah, Hannah. It says that she vowed a vow and said, "O Lord of hosts." So this woman is vowing a vow. And she said, "O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thy handmaid and remember me, and not forget thy handmaid, but will give unto thy handmaid a man child." So she's saying, if you do this for me, Lord, then I will. So she's asking something from the Lord. Then she said she's going to do something if she receive it. She said, then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life, and there shall no razor come upon his head. So she vowed that. She vowed that she gonna give her child, her man child, to the Lord all the days of his life. He's gonna be a priest. He gonna do work for the Lord, and he's not gonna shave. He's not a razor. Is not gonna come upon his head. Now, if a razor came upon his head and she didn't give him to the Lord all the days of his life, he was just wicked. She would have been in sin. She broke the vow. She would have broke the vow. So you see how it works. She said, "Lord, if you give me a man child, and you remember my affliction, this is what I'm gonna do. I am going to not shave or put a razor upon his head all his life, and I'm going to give him unto you all his life." So you can also vow like this, Lord, if you increase my zeal in this walk, I read 3 chapters for 6 months. And it's good for the Nazarite vow, man. During the Nazarite vow, it tells you things to stay away from, but it's also good. It's a vow, you know what I'm saying? So it's good to, pray to the Lord. You can ask the Lord for stuff, and in return, you're going to do this for him. Lord, if you can do this for me, if you do this for me, I'll do this. So that's a vow. You know, it's good to do those things. That's what Hannah did. She asked for something from the Lord, then she said, "I give you this in return. You bless me with this, and I'm gonna do a vow and dedicate this vow to you, and also I'm gonna give my child unto you as well for blessing me with him." And she vowed that. She did that. And so she completed her vow. So, but now let me show you let me show you this scripture real quick right here. And it just shows how serious, a vow is. If anybody, was wondering how serious is a vow, it ain't that serious. It's just words. If I don't complete it, I mean, it is what it is. But let me read you this account, and this account shows you how the Lord take vows, how serious He take the vows, man. Um, Judges chapter 11. I'm gonna start at verse 30. It says, I might say his name wrong, but Jephthah vowed a vow unto the Lord and said, "If thou shalt without fail deliver the children of Ammon in my hands," he doing the same thing Hannah did. If you do something for me, I do this. He said, "And it shall be that whosoever cometh forth of the doors of my house to meet me, when I return in peace from the children of Ammon, shall surely be the Lord's, and I will offer it up for a burnt offering." So he thinking, an animal gonna come visit him, at his door. He gonna give it to the Lord as a burnt offering. He says, so Jephthah passed over into the children of Ammon to fight against them, and the Lord delivered them into his hands. So he vowed the vow. The Lord heard him, and the Lord did his part and delivered the Ammonites into his hand, Jephthah's hands, right? So now it's his turn to complete what he said he was gonna do, which is offer whatever came to him through the doors when he came home from the victory. It says, "He smote them from Aurora, even till thou comest to Minnith, even 20 cities, and into the plain of the vineyards with a very great slaughter. Thus the children of Ammon were subdued before the children of Israel. And Jephthah came to Mizpah unto his house, and behold, his daughter came out to meet him with timbrels and with dances, and she was his only child. Beside her, he had neither son nor daughter." So remember, she was the first one to come, and see him through the doors. She came cheering and dancing. She was his only child. And it came to pass when he saw her that he rent his clothes and said, "Alas, my daughter, thou hast brought me very low, and thou art one of them that trouble me, for I have opened my mouth unto the Lord, and I cannot go back." And she said unto him, "My father, if thou hast opened thy mouth unto the Lord, do to me according to that which hath proceeded out of thy mouth. For as much as the Lord hath taken vengeance for thee of thy enemies, even to the children of Ammon." So she like, whatever you vow, complete that thing. That's what she said. Whatever you vowed to the Lord, you vowed it. That's why you have to think. You have to think before you make a vow, bruh. You had to think about everything, because he wasn't thinking that his daughter was gonna be the first one that came to see him. He wasn't thinking that. He just make that vow, and thinking that it was gonna be an animal or something that he was gonna have to sacrifice to the Lord. But he didn't think it through. And she said unto her father, "Let this thing be done for me. Let me alone 2 months, that I may go up and down upon the mountains, and bewail my virginity, and I and my fellows." And he said, "Go." And he sent her away for 2 months, and she went with her companions and bewailed her virginity upon the mountains. And it came to pass at the end of 2 months that she returned to her father, who did with her according to his vow, which he had vowed, and she knew no man, and it was a custom in Israel that the daughters of Israel went yearly to Lamech, the daughter of Jephthah, the Gileadite, 4 days in a year. So, and we still do this to this day, man. Lament her, but that just shows, or lament her, my bad, lament her, but that just shows how important it is. When you vow something, bro, the Most High, He expect you to do it. He don't want to hear no excuses. You said you were gonna do this. It's definitely gotta pay attention how you word your vow, bro. You gotta word it, word it the right way. You know what I'm saying? So, because the Most High take this thing very seriously. Say you're gonna do something, you gotta do it, man. Don't be like, "Well, Lord, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean for you I didn't say it like that. I didn't want you to take it like that." Nah, You say what you say, make it clear to the Lord, and you uphold that vow, right? So all praise to the Most High. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying through the Spirit, man. You vow a vow to the Lord, keep that vow, man. You say you're gonna do something, do it. Especially when it comes to the Lord. When it comes to man, you have people play with man all the time. I'm gonna do it. I do this. I'm gonna do this. I do this, and don't do it. But the Lord ain't like that. The Lord, you come to the Lord and you say you're gonna do something. Lord, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna complete this. I'm gonna end it this day. You gotta do it, man. Because if you don't, the Lord gonna hold it against you. You don't know it's a sin, and you don't know what the Lord could do, to you for breaking that vow or that promise that you made to Him. Right. So this brother, I think that's all I had, man. I think that's all I had on this. And there's plenty more scriptures going into vows as well. Two of y'all want to check that out. But this brother Obadiah with the hopeful elect. I'm going to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. I say Shalom, peace and blessings to the 12.